Hey guys, welcome back to Just Being a Mom podcast. And I missed you guys so much. You'll never even know how much I missed you. But I needed a break. I needed a break from a lot of things. It's funny because I took a break and I was just like, oh my gosh, I need a break from like so many other things like cooking, cleaning, laundry. Elijah, I needed a break from him. If my mom could just come into town just for a day, it would be great. Okay. So I definitely didn't realize how much I needed a break. It was very eye-opening. But I'm glad I took it. I'm refreshed. I'm back. It's a new year. I'm ready to take control and do all that New Year's, new me type stuff. It's really the same me, but in a new year, right? I'm like really big on New Year. Okay, so side note, I'm like really big on New Year's resolutions, but like my resolutions aren't like drink more water or like exercise. It's like I'm going to work on me, like internally, like do some deep, like soul searching. Like that's the kind of things I like to work on. And like this year I'm kind of focusing on like just taking like little baby steps to get to my goals, because usually, I don't know, if I posted on Instagram about a week ago. So if you read my post, you know, I'm like really going to be like focusing on baby steps and like the little wins and like celebrating like every single like step forward. And I think that's really important for, you know, my growth. But anyways, so definitely focus on what you want to focus on this year. And I'm wishing you guys luck with your New Year's resolutions. Even if it is drink more water, you drink that water, girl. Okay, you get those electrolytes. But anyways, so we're back with a brand new episode. Today we are talking about something that is very near and dear to my heart. It's an argument that I've always wanted to talk about, but I have so many opinions on it, and I wanted to get them all like in order to kind of just try to explain them, just so, you know, I don't come off the wrong way or people think like, oh, like, why does she feel that way? I want to be able to explain it properly. So I hope that I do that and without like confusing anybody or like getting off topic like I usually do. That's kind of my thing. But anyways, so today we're talking about stay-at-home mom versus working mom. Which one is harder? Which one is easier? Which one is more respected? We are talking about it. So first things first, why does one have to be harder than the other? I feel like being a mom is just generally hard. Regardless if you work or if you don't work, it's really hard. Second, why do we have to compare our lives to someone else's life? Why can't it, you know, you don't see anybody like, oh, this CEO is harder than this CEO's life, or the CEO of Amazon is like, his job is way more harder than the CEO at Apple. Like, you don't do that. It's only in like, and I get it, like, it's like a human trait. Like, we want a little sympathy. So we always like kind of go towards like this, like, oh, one-upping each other on like who had like the worst day. Like even like with your husband, he'll be like, oh man, I didn't eat lunch today. Oh man, I didn't eat lunch, breakfast, or dinner today. And it's just like this one-upping on whose life is worse or who had the worst day. Like even with your coworkers, you'll do it. And it's just like, why do we do that? You know, like psychologically, why do we do that? And I feel like it's because we want like this sympathy. We want somebody to feel for us about like what we're actually going through, when actually we're working so hard to make our lives easier. Like, think about it. Like, go to work every day. You work hard. You know, do all these things, spend money on things that make your life easier. You buy the latest cell phone, so it's easier to check your email. You buy the vacuum cleaner that self-cleans because it's easier now. I don't have to clean. So you use the Starbucks app because it's like, I don't have to wait in line. I can order on my phone and I could just walk in because it's easier. So we're doing all these things to make our lives easier, but then we just want to sit back and complain about how tough our day was, or like how hard my life is compared to someone else's, and I deserve more respect because my life is harder. Well, I strongly disagree, because just because your life is harder does not deem someone else like that they don't deserve respect because their life is not as hard as yours. Maybe they work to make their lives easier, which is what we're all working for, is to make our lives a little bit easier. And maybe, great, now I lost my train of thought. Anyways, okay, so we're all making to work our lives easier. We shouldn't compare our lives to other people's, and we should just try our hardest to make our lives as easy and what we want, as easy or as hard as we want it to be. And maybe try not complaining about it, or it's okay to complain. Everybody complains, but try not to. I think just the comparison is what kills us, and I know God didn't put me here to, one, compare my life to someone else's, and two, for me to live just this miserable life where I'm always just like, woe is me. My life is so hard. So to compare stay-at-home mom versus the working mom and say, oh, which one is harder? One, they're both hard, but I think moms are doing what they can for their family. So you'll find that it also depends on who you're asking. So who are you asking which one is harder? Some moms love being at home. Some moms love being at work. I know tons of moms who are rushing back from maternity leave to work because it's easier to be at work. Some moms love staying at home with their baby. Me, I love staying at home with Elijah. It's so much easier for me than going to work. One, I worked with kids anyways, so I wasn't rushing to be with other kids. I was rushing to be with my kid. And I know, and it's different for every mom, because I know moms who work, who want to be stay at home. And I know moms who stay at home who want to work. So it's different for everybody, and it's what's best for your family. So I feel as long as you're doing what is best for your family, you're doing what is best, and make the best of it, and try to do little things each day to make your day easier instead of making your day harder. And it starts with your mindset about how you're thinking about things too. Like, okay, I'm going to have a good day, and I'm going to order my Starbucks on the app. I'm going to be ready. Or like, even just like, I'm going to set the kids' shoes out ready so they're ready to go the night before. I'm going to make their lunches the night before. I'm going to stay up a little, like 20 minutes later, to get a little bit more work done. So maybe my work day tomorrow will be a little bit lighter, and just do things that make your life just a little bit easier, because like I said, that's what we're all working for. That's kind of what we all want. So let me explain. Let me go into a little bit stay-at-home mom and working mom. I think just what the working mom, the stay-at-home mom definitely feels a little less respected, because I feel like society places a value on your worth by how much money you make. And just because you stay at home, you don't make any money for that. So your value is taken away. So the stay-at-home mom looks overworked. So just like other kind of caregivers, like people who are like caring for their their dying parent, and they are they're not getting paid for that, but they have to be there for their mom or their dad. It's just, it kind of gets kind of just like overlooked, and like it's not respected, because we're not making any money. And also the stay-at-home mom, they kind of get like shamed a little bit too, because they stay at work all day. They're missing out on their kids. They're missing their kids' like milestones. They stay at work late, so now they can't see their kid. They can't put their kid to bed. And like, one, who said they can't do any of that stuff? And who says they're not doing any of that stuff? And two, they have to do it. If they have to work, a parent has to work. And no parent should be shamed for staying at home or going to work. So either way, it all goes back to the whole reason I started my podcast is to end the mom shaming. It it like kills me to like shame another mom for working or shame another mom for staying at home. She's not doing enough. She's letting her kids down. Her kids are never going to see her work, blah, blah, blah. Like, that may not be important to their family, or, you know, or the vice versa, or she's working too much. She's never going to see her kids. Like, that, one, may not be the case. And two, this is how they're taking care of their family. And we have to respect on both sides that this is how people are. What I hate when I lose my train of thought. This is how people take care of their families and do what's best for their families. So when you see a mom making a decision, don't question it. Know that she's making the decision in the best interest of her child. When you see another mom making a decision, and I used to do this too. I have like mom shamed, okay? I would see a mom. This is the old me, guys, not the new me. But I would see a mom, and this kid would be crying, and she's like picking it up, and this kid's giving her a hard time, and I would say the dumbest thing. Well, I know what I would do if that was me. No, I didn't know what I was doing. That was me, because that was me yesterday in the store, and Elijah's going crazy. So you can't say what another mom should do with her child, because one, it's their kid, it's not your kid. And two, this is how I strongly, another side note, this is how I strongly feel about parenting. I know that God gives each child the parent that they need, regardless like of any situation. I feel like God gives the child exactly what they need to grow up into the adult that they're supposed to be. And that's like the whole plan. We all have a plan in like the world and like working together for like his purpose. Got a little spiritual on you there. I hope like you're still able to get it. But like even like orphans, like kids, they'll still get what they need to grow up to be the person that they're supposed to be. Their story is going to impact and help someone else's life, even though they didn't have parents. Or like even the person with both parents, they're going to grow up and do something maybe not as different from what the orphan's purpose is, but they're going to impact somebody's life in a way where this other person's they're going to, oh my God, why can't I get it out? Their life is going to impact somebody else's life, which is going to impact somebody else's life, which is this ripple effect of everybody impacting others' lives. My podcast just went from one topic to a whole nother topic, and this is not what I wanted to happen. But this is what I do because like I have all these ideas, and like I really wanted to stay focused on the stay-at-home mom versus the working mom situation, but here I am again. I hope you come back and listen. But I'm just all over the place sometimes, I feel like, with my ideas and my opinions. But so let me just go back. So basically, how I feel about stay-at-home mom versus working mom is that it should never be a versus. We should all just be working together. Create the life that you want. Do not compare your life to somebody else. Stop one-upping each other on who had the worst day. Make your day as happy and as great as you want it to be. Tough days do come. I 100% get that. But don't let that bleed onto other areas of your life, like your marriage or your parenting or your career. Just try to stay as positive as you can. I know it's so cliche. But you have to do it, and you have to notice when you're doing it and when you're triggering yourself to be negative and to be and comparing. So if you're comparing your life every time you get on Instagram, stop getting on Instagram. If you're comparing your life to someone else's every time you're at work, don't stop going to work. But maybe do something else to reverse the trigger. So that's all I'm saying. And I'll write more in the post when I post it. so you guys can read more about it. But anyways, my time is up, and I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Just Being a Mom podcast.